A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Good evening. This is Crime Classics. I am Thomas Hyland. I'm going to tell you another true crime story. Listen. The general just fell out of bed. His name? William Scott Ketchum, Major General, United States Army, retired. So that there'll be no mistake, this is the same William Scott Ketchum who led the famed Ketchum's Raiders against the Seminoles in 1842, who was acting Inspector General of the Department of the Missouri, and the one who did such a bang-up job of recruiting in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania during the Civil War. The general is in agony. In protest against the quick ebb of his life, he's kicking the floor. The general is dead. And tonight, my transcribed report to you on the final day of General Ketchum and how he died.
Crime Classics, a series of true crime stories taken from the records and newspapers of every land from every time. Your host each week, Mr. Thomas Hyland, connoisseur of crime, student of violence, and teller of murders. Now, once again, Thomas Hyland.
The year is 1871. The place is Baltimore, Maryland. The month, June. No poet in the world, to my knowledge, has ever written a poem about this month in Baltimore. It is hot, it is humid, and the oysters are not in season. And any almanac will show you that in June 1871, had the oysters been in season, with eggs and breadcrumbs they could have been fried on the sidewalks. For most Baltimoreans, it was the season for dipping hands into tepid scrub water to wash the marble stoops. It was the season for sleeping on back porches and Druid Hill Park, the time of sweat and the hand fan, and the usual quota of elderly stout folk dropping dead from the heat. In short, it was a time to get out of there. In a certain house near Charles Street, a lady was preparing to do just that. Her name? Mrs. Wharton. And she was packing to go to Europe.
Coming. General.
Mrs. Wharton.
How nice. How very pleasant. Do come in, do.
May I present Mrs. Chubb?
Delighted. Oh, do come in, you and the General. I've been cooling myself with iced dandelion wine. Do join me.
I do not imbibe. I work for the United States Department of the Treasury.
Mrs. Chubb needs to keep a clear head at all times.
I used to work for the United States Post Office Department, but now I'm with the Treasury.
My, that's interesting. And you came all the way from Washington with the General. Perhaps your next position will be with the Army.
My dear Mrs. Wharton, I must talk to you.
Of course.
Will you pardon us, Mrs. Chubb?
Is this where you talk to her about the money she owes you?
Mrs. Chubb.
$2,600. Isn't that what you told me, General? Why don't you pay the General his money, Mrs. Wharton?
Mrs. Wharton?
Yes?
As long as the cat is out of the bag, I thought to bring along the note you signed. I understand you're going to Europe.
Get the money, dearie.
Why, I have a distinct recollection, General, of having reimbursed
She's going to tell you she's paid you the money.
Let's not embarrass each other.
But there's really no hurry, is there? There's no train back to Washington for hours. Wouldn't you like some wine?
I do not imbibe.
Just a small glass?
You just sit down and relax. I'll bring you the wine, and we'll chat.
You might stop at the cookie jar, too, dearie, for the $2,600.
The heat in Baltimore wasn't bad enough, but what the only breeze was an ill wind that blew in from Washington. From the point of view of Mrs. Wharton, that is. It should be remarked that Mrs. Wharton was no chicken. She was 50 years old, and at an age when petty tribulations could easily bring on an attack of the vapors. Now consider. Here she was packing to go to Europe, and if you remember just a moment ago, she was happily singing. Now descends upon her people who ask her for money. Certainly conducive to vapors, if anything was. But Mrs. Wharton, true to the noble tradition of Baltimore women, of whom I might mention the fabulous Eulalie Bracken, the belle of the Rappahannock, did not permit herself the vapors under duress. Instead, she went directly to her wine cabinet. Right here, and for the next 10 minutes, history only serves up to us a vacuum. We do know, however, that when Mrs. Wharton returned to her guests, carrying a goblet of wine for the General, this remark was made.
What took you so long, Mrs. Wharton?
Did you stop at the cookie jar, dearie?
General.
Your health, ladies.
And yours, General.
Oh, my, yes.
General!
What are you doing on the floor, General?
I can't get up, Mrs. Chubb. Please.
What is it, General?
Call a physician. I'm ill.
And how's my patient now? Feeling better?
Dr. Chu?
Yes?
You must do something for me.
Anything, General.
Convey to Mrs. Wharton my apologies. Tell her I'm so ashamed of myself for falling down on her rug. And tell Mrs. Chubbs to find a room in town. And Dr. Chu.
Anything, General.
Tell Mrs. Chubb to stay there.
Of course. General,
Yes?
you know what's wrong with you?
What?
I don't know. I thought perhaps you did. I thought perhaps you had a previous diagnosis. I thought perhaps this was a recurring ailment.
I haven't ailed a day in my life, except...
Out with it.
Except when I was in the swamps chasing the Seminoles. Then I was sick most of the time.
Ah.
Yes?
In the swamps. Cholera morbus. And your present symptoms. Sweating, purplishness, weakness, and debility. Cholera morbus, recurrent type.
Is that very serious?
Rest easy. I have the very thing in my bag. You're going to feel like a new man as soon as you take this.
Vile-looking stuff.
Why is it that all you army men quail at the sight of medicine? Here. Drink this, General.
No, I'm not going to drink it.
General, come on, open.
I don't want to.
General. Here's some water. Drink it.
What kind of medicine was that?
Creosote and lime water. How do you feel?
It seems...
Yes?
Suddenly the foreignness is gone.
Good, very good.
May I get up now?
Oh, no. You'll be abed until tomorrow at least. I'll have Mrs. Wharton fetch you a prescription which will work wonders. Goodbye, General. Mrs. Wharton.
Coming.
I have a message for Mrs. Chubb. Where is she?
Must I reveal?
Well, I do have a message for her.
She imbibed. She can't stop. She's in the rose garden now. I can't get her out of there. But then...
Tell her to take a room and stay there. General's orders.
And how is the General?
He says his furriness is gone.
Splendid.
I gave him a palliative, a temporary relief.
Is he seriously ill?
He isn't young anymore, you know. There are no small sicknesses when one gets to be his age. And I'm afraid he can't be moved. He'll have to stay here at your house.
But of course. He can stay in my room. I'll use the guest room.
And an errand for you, Mrs. Wharton, to the druggist's. Get some tincture of yellow jasmine and give him a tablespoonful every 2 hours.
Tincture of yellow jasmine every 2 hours.
Goodbye, Mrs. Wharton.
Goodbye, Dr. Chu.
Mrs. Wharton, dressed prettily, took parasol to hand and strolled down Charles Street. She walked slowly because of the heat and because Charles Street is a fashionable street, and one is apt to meet many of one's friends, and one is apt to stop and pass the time of day.
Why, yes, Mrs. Becker. General Ketchum just fell right over, right there in my parlor.
And she strolled some more. And to Miss Celia Bradshaw, an old friend of hers from picnic days, who she saw waiting on a corner.
You'll never guess, Celia, who's dying in my house. At least I think he's dying. Dr. Chu wouldn't confess it, but I have a premonition. The General's dying. General Ketchum.
And at the druggist's, she took time to down a sherbet. Seltzer water was all the rage in Baltimore in this era, so she had a little of it with a squeeze of lemon. Then she walked over to the druggist and ordered...
Tincture of yellow jasmine, sir. And while you're at it, I'd like some tartar emetic.
I'm in pain. I hurt. Mrs. Wharton, please, hurry. Mrs. Wharton!
Coming. And here we are.
Oh, my stomach.
The doctor said as soon as you drink this, you'll feel no pain.
Please, hurry.
Now here, drink this.
All of it?
Every drop. Come on. Now, General, just a moment ago you were begging for it. Now, every drop, all the way down, the whole glass. General, watch out. You'll fall out of bed. Oh, General, what's the matter? General, you look... Oh, General.
The general was dead. Frontiersman, recruiter, quartermaster, dead on the floor. Fini to a military career. And it was then and only then that Mrs. Wharton had the vapors.
You are listening to Crime Classics and your host, Thomas Hyland. Tomorrow night, get a grip on your favorite armchair and let that sleuthing twosome, Mr. and Mrs. North, face the dangers on their latest murder case. You're invited to solve it if you can, but from where you sit, the dangers will be strictly theoretical. Remember, every Tuesday night on most of these same stations, you have a date with Pam and Jerry North, CBS Radio's family of detectives. And now, once again, Thomas Hyland and the second act of Crime Classics, and his report to you on the final day of General Ketchum and how he died.
A few words about Baltimore, Maryland, of the era which concerns us. Even in the 1870s, it was one of the medical centers of the world. It is known as the home of the crab cake. Sidney Lanier, Edgar Allan Poe, Henri de Rochefort, alias the French butcher. And, as is well known, has given its name to a bird, the oriole. It is a city of row houses and marble stoops and beautiful women. If from Baltimore, all the more, one of the rapier wits of the time had it of the beauty of the city's damoiselles. It is known that in her earlier days, Mrs. Wharton met neatly the qualifications of the adage, and at 50 she was not to be sneezed at. However, at this precise instant, we may safely assume that the lady presented an appearance somewhat less than comely. For a general had just tumbled out of her bed and died. Fright, horror, dismay But a few of the things this gentle lady must have experienced, and how nice could a gentle lady look under such circumstances? She was leaning against a bedpost, pressing her temples. From the front door.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Wharton.
Oh, Mr. Van Ness, quickly, come in.
You look so pale.
Look in my bedroom.
What?
Look in my bedroom.
Did you lose something or what?
Please, do as I tell you.
All right. Oh. He looks terrible, Mrs. Wharton.
He's dead.
He can't.
Please don't be stupid, Mr. Van Ness. He's dead. He was ill, and he died.
But when I saw the general this morning, he looked so robust.
You saw him this morning? Why?
He came to check your accounts with me.
Oh?
As your solicitor, I was only too happy to discuss them with him. Why didn't you tell me?
Tell you what, Mr. Van Ness?
That you were in the general's debt to the tune of $2,600.
I paid him back immediately.
Do you have the note you signed? Did he return it to you when you paid him?
Why do you ask?
He showed me a note this morning. He said he wanted his money. I knew nothing about it, so he said he would see you.
He saw me. He tore up the note.
Tore it up? Why? Did you pay him?
No. He tore it up as a sailing gift to me, to see me happily on my way to Europe.
Do you have any witnesses of the transaction?
No.
That is not good. Mrs. Wharton.
Yes?
There was a lady with the general this morning.
Come to the window, Mr. Van Ness. See? There.
Where?
There, under the Empress Eugenie rose bush.
Why, it's Mrs. Chubb.
She imbibed.
Well, she told me she never did. She said she was employed by the United States.
As my solicitor, you must tell me. What shall be done now?
I must tell you that I will have to report this of the $2,600.
Of course you do. And you must be very distressed, Mr. Van Ness.
Yes. Yes, I am.
Do sit down. I'll fetch you something to drink.
All right.
I'll only be a moment. Oh, here, drink this, Mr. Van Ness. Your favorite.
Thank you.
I am happy to report to you that Mr. Van Ness regained consciousness an hour later. He rose to his feet and looked about him. He was quite alone. Through a window, he could see the setting sun. He could also see Mrs. Wharton's rose garden, and in it, Mrs. Wharton, her arms about the waist of Mrs. Chubb, of the United States Department of the Treasury. And the two ladies were walking about the rose bushes. Whenever Mrs. Chubb would stumble, Mrs. Wharton would dab at her face with a handkerchief and assist her to her feet. Mr. Van Ness let his gaze drift from the bucolic scene and went immediately into the boudoir, where was the corpse of General Ketchum. Mr. Van Ness determined that promissory note which he had seen earlier that day was not upon the general's person, so he took himself to the police, and to them made charges, and the charges, murder.
But I murdered no one. The general took ill at my house, as Dr. Chu.
The general was sick, all right. I diagnosed it as cholera morbus recurrent type. The general having been sickly in the Everglades.
So you see, I didn't murder the general. Why should I?
Because you owed him $2,600.
He tore up the note as a gift.
You were with him alone when he was dead. You could have destroyed the note yourself.
And you call yourself a gentleman.
And you call yourself a lady.
I am a lady. I work for the United
Of course.
She drank of the same wine that did the general. And you too, Mr. Van Ness. You got tipsy, and all that happened to her was a few scratches, thorns, Empress Eugenie rosebush thorns.
Well, I don't know what came over me.
Oh, there, dear, there.
You're so sweet, Mrs. Wharton.
When you're in Baltimore, my house is your house.
Murderess.
However, Mrs. Wharton was charged with suspicion of murder, and immediately a more detailed statement was taken from Dr. Chu.
Cholera morbus, recurrent type. More? Oh, when I was first called to attend General Ketchum, I found the sick man in a semi-comatose state. The pupils of the eye were of a natural size, but almost wholly insensible to light. When I prepared the dose of medicine, I found the General's teeth so clenched that it was a matter of considerable difficulty and adroit convincing to put it in his mouth. His furriness, gentlemen, the haziness of manner vanished almost immediately. I gave then Mrs. Wharton a prescription calling for tincture of yellow jasmine.
And the druggist was questioned.
Oh, yes, I remember vividly the occasion. Mrs. Wharton entered my store, had a sherbet, some seltzer water over a dash of lemon for heat, tincture of yellow jasmine, and tartar emetic.
A word about tartar emetic. It is a deadly poison.
I use it externally for wrinkles.
As did many ladies of the time. Next came the autopsy. The general's stomach was removed and examined. Two of the greatest internalists of the day, Dr. Williams and Dr. Aiken of the Maryland University, could not agree as to the causes of death by a superficial examination, so it was sent to a chemical laboratory at the Johns Hopkins University. And upon the analysis depended the fate of a lady who just wanted to go to Europe.
Of course, the flagellation wasn't complete, but that's the way it happened. All right, hand it to me. I'll put it through the filter.
Filtrate. Thank you. I'll wager Dr. Imhoff was astounded, wasn't he?
He thought he'd discovered something. He was prepared to call it the Imhoff effect.
Attach this to the hydrogen sulfide, will you? You know what?
What?
This is the closest I've ever been to a general. His stomach in an Erlenmeyer flask.
I did a prima donna once, poisoned by a jealous mother. Arsenic she used. You should have seen the titration on that one.
Precipitated. I'll get it. Here. You separate.
I say no poison.
I say poison for $1. How do we stand now?
You owe me 3 from the last 2 analyses. So hand me the muriatic acid. Thank you. Ammonium sulfide?
Oh, my.
Orange red, Joe.
Tartar emetic in the stomach, wouldn't you say?
Tartar emetic? Chalk gives the same reaction. Plain, everyday chalk. That's the way my report is going to read. Chalk in the general's stomach.
So they gave their report to the city solicitor's office, each different. One tartar emetic, the other chalk, which confused the city solicitor no end, for not 1 hour before he had read a report from another chemist, Professor R.S. McCullough. Professor McCullough, having examined a like portion of the general's stomach, averred that not a trace of tartar emetic was to be found, nor chalk, but a bit of chicken Maryland. Confusion. The while, Mrs. Wharton, detained in prison, had a visitor.
I baked these myself, dear Mrs. Wharton.
Dear Mrs. Chubb.
They're wrong about you, what they're saying.
What are they saying?
That you poisoned him. And others are saying that you would not, that you're too much of a gentle lady.
Do you remember, dear Mrs. Chubb, when you came to my house, you drank from the same bottle as did the General?
Did I?
Of course you did. Remember?
Wasn't it from another bottle I drank? And at a different time?
You are a tease, Mrs. Chubb.
Did I tell you there was no Mr. Chubb?
I'm sorry. I'm so very sorry.
3 years ago, he ate a bad crab.
And you are alone, as I am.
Oh, I dislike Washington.
When we return from Europe, you'll come to live with me.
Dear Mrs. Wharton, and I have something else to tell you. Professor McCullough examined the general's stomach. The professor said the general had not been poisoned.
La 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 la.
What transpired next I have in a journal of the day. It is headlined with Doctors Disagree, Learned Men of Science at Variance, Several Schools of Thought. I quote, Dr. Reese, when interviewed, stated that General Ketchum died from cerebral spinal meningitis. On the other hand, Dr. Edward Warren stated that the general had not died from cerebral spinal meningitis. Dr. John R. McClurg attested that the general died of apoplexy from congestion. Dr. Abram Claude clings to the school of tartaremetic poisoning. And Dr. Josiah Simpson, Dean of Baltimore Physicians, has made this statement. I believe the general died from natural causes. On December 4, 1871, the case went to trial. And possibly because of the conflicting testimony, Mrs. Wharton was acquitted. And thus it is that the true cause of the general's death is not known. Nor does history record whether Mrs. Wharton and her dear friend Mrs. Chubb ever got to Europe. But Mrs. Wharton's home, her abode wherein the general died, still stands. I expect you think I'll tell you that today the house is haunted. Well, it is, but not by the general. By Claude Forrester, who was the victim of an unsolved axe murder some 20 years later. The general has been forgotten. Until, I hope, tonight.
In just a moment, Thomas Hyland will tell you about next week's Crime Classic. General Ketchum, tonight's Crime Classic, was adapted from the original court reports and newspaper accounts by Morton Fine and David Friedkin. The music was composed and conducted by Bernard Herrmann, and the program was transcribed and directed by Elliott Lewis. Thomas Hyland is portrayed on radio by Lou Merrill. In tonight's story, Paula Winslow was heard as Mrs. Wharton and Russell Simpson as the General. Featured in the cast were Herb Butterfield, Bill Bissell, Sarah Selby, Hy Averback, and David Young. George Walsh speaking. And here again is Thomas Hyland.
Next week, Crepfield in the county of Suffolk in England. The years from 1793 to 1804, and the dreadful murders of a father and daughter, also including a description of the instrument of death. My report to you will be on Mr. Thrower's hammer. Thank you. Good night.
Arthur Godfrey himself will be back in action with the Talent Scouts later tonight. In fact, on most of these same stations, the great event takes place immediately after station identification. So stay tuned and join the whole family. CBS Radio from coast to coast. To make it a big welcome home for our always a cut-up, especially so recently, Arthur Godfrey. And remember, Bill Cullen's Walk a Mile show is heard Monday evenings on the CBS Radio Network.
Good evening. This is Crime Classics. I am Thomas Hyland. I'm going to tell you another true crime story. Listen. In the county of Suffolk, the willow grows green, and there was once a smithy. His name was Edmund Thrower. He was a powerful man who could make the anvil shudder and spring sparks into shadows cast by the willow. He made horseshoes. He mended scullery ware. He made hammers to drive nails. to mend shoes, to bludgeon people to death. And tonight, my report to you on the dread events surrounding Mr. Thrower's hammer.
Crime Classics, a series of true crime stories taken from the records and newspapers of every land, from every time. Your host each week, Mr. Thomas Hyland, connoisseur of crime, student of violence, teller of murders. Now, once again, Thomas Hyland.
I should like to pose a conundrum. Of course, I already know its answer, but it took history 11 years to solve it. But was this puzzle solved? Well, perhaps. It has some interesting ingredients. A man hung for stealing a heifer, a gypsy, a chap who cut ling for a living, a young woman dead across a gooseberry bush, and the mending of a shoe on a wet day. Now, was ever a puzzle so tweaking? It happened in 1793, and there are two versions as to how it started. Version 1. Scene, Shotford Heath in Weybread, Suffolk, and a man is driving sheep to town.
Oh, no. Enough of cud, beastie. On to town with it. Come on.
Oh!
Oh!
Rest your flock a while, shepherd. We've some ruby red wine.
Aye, wine would be clever.
Tilt the skin for him, gypsy. Give the shepherd a drink.
Aye. Very clever. And ruby red. To whom be I beholden?
I be Gypsy Dick.
I am John Head.
Thank ye. I be Edmund Thrower.
They call me friend here Gypsy because he does things gypsy-like. He touches the winds and says who will die in the next town. He looks at the hand of a man and tells whatever.
Truth?
Gypsy Dick will show you.
Oh, I have no money.
No silver from the palm of a shepherd. Give me your hand. Willow, willow, shining dim, hang down your little cattykin.
Well?
John Head, do you see what I see in the shepherd's palm? Look here. 10 pounds in golden coins for the future.
Then it shall be. There, shepherd thrower. 10 pounds in your palm, like the gypsy said.
Thank ye.
Gypsy.
Aye.
What else do you see?
Before you covered his palm with gold, I saw the shepherd waiting here while we went into yon house.
For 10 pounds? That be all you want me to do?
Aye. And give the alarm if you see anyone coming.
You be thief.
Especially if you see a constable coming, give the alarm.
And the 10 pound be mine?
Indeed.
Oh, I will scream my lungs out if anyone approaches.
I could see it in your palm. Come, John Head.
Aye.
The last there, leaning over the gooseberry bush. The hammer, John Head.
Aye.
Quietly.
Aye. Our dear old daddy would grieve if he found his daughter so.
Look, through the window. Her father sleeps in a chair. Quietly.
Aye.
A father and his daughter were just bludgeoned to death. Their names? Thomas and Elizabeth Carter. They owned a small house on the outskirts of the village of Cratfield in Suffolk, and they kept a small shop of tasties and oddments. In the evenings, they had often been seen walking in the garden, now stopping to sniff a rose, now pausing to pluck marigold, now lifting their cheeks to the setting sun. That they were murdered, there is no doubt. As to the manner in which they were murdered, you have just looked in on version 1. Now for version 2. Scene? A rainy day in the town of Swaffham. A ling cutter, that is, one devoted to hewing common heather, sits at his stall and mends his shoe.
Oh, but it be wet outside. And foul.
The ling likes the damp, but keeps its colour.
And fine-looking ling it be, John Head.
I'll fill your arms with it, Thrower, if you'll give me a moment to fix this shoe. Pox on this hammer.
Listen, John Head. Fix the sole of your shoe, but do not sell me ling. I look for lodgings.
For the night or for the while? Oh, ruddy hammer.
Yeah, you'll be using broken hammer to mend shoe.
'Tis the only hammer I have.
I will make you a trade, John Head.
How?
I have a hammer here in my kit. This hammer.
Oh, 'tis a hammer indeed.
A trade. The hammer for the lodging.
A trade?
And it be a special hammer. You know it?
Special?
Aye. With the same hammer, I beat in the head of one Mr. Carter. And his daughter, too.
Oh, and that would make it a special hammer indeed.
They were poke noses.
What?
Mr. Carter and his daughter, they poked their long noses into what did not concern them.
Aye, and for that you hammered them, eh?
For that, indeed. You will notice I am not with my wife. The Mr. Carter and his daughter spoke to my wife and told her to go off with someone else, and my wife did.
'Tis a real cruelty. Will you want the same room, Mr. Thrower?
The two versions of how the Carters, father and daughter, met their respective ends. Version 1, Gypsy Dick and John Head did it. Version 2, Edmund Thrower did it. In any event, the Carters were discovered the next morning lifeless. And, as we well know in these times, the things that were raised were hues and cries. Also, there was much scurrying and running about and clamor. But all this fell upon the stillness of the Suffolk heath. There were seasons and rainy days and days of sunshine and heather, and the ling cutters came and went, and the sheep became coats and mutton, and a certain gooseberry bush bloomed lovely, and berries died unpicked. And somewhere, far away, a gypsy with the unlikely name of Dick held a palm and said this:
"Willow, willow, shining dim, hang down your little catechin,"
and picked a pocket. There were seasons and there were years. 11 years. Mr. Thrower was now a blacksmith among the willows. Mr. John Head was now a convict among the vermin and the lice of Ipswich jail. Mr. Head had committed a felony. He had robbed a sailor. His sentence hadn't been passed yet, but his cellmates had.
John Head.
What is it, Saunders?
I can't sleep.
You'll sleep for long, in a few hours.
They say that on the gallows sleep is slow to come, that it's painful. Unless you have a friend to hold down your legs, then death is quick.
If they will let me, I will do it for you, Saunders.
Oh, thank you.
Seems to me...
What?
Cruel. Death.
What I did was cruel. To steal a heifer is cruel and deserves death. I knew it when I stole it. And you'll die, too.
You stole a heifer. I but robbed a sailor.
My brother robbed a sailor. He was hung and he was given to the surgeons. You'll die. Ah, 'tis odd.
What?
Once before there was a time like this. Once before they would hang me.
Why?
Long ago, 10 years or so, 11, they took me from a public house where I'd laid drunk and told me I'd killed a man and his daughter, that I'd knocked their heads in with a hammer.
About 11 years ago?
Aye. But then I was let free. They decided I didn't do it.
And where was this?
In Cratfield in Suffolk.
And the name of the man? And the name of the daughter?
Oh, I can't remember.
Nor I. Carter.
Carter? 'Twas the name. How did you know?
Carter. Saunders, lad.
What?
If they will let me do it, I will hold down your legs and pull hard on them, and you will die quick.
Oh, thank you.
And something else, Saunders, lad. The gibbet here at Ipswich will not get me for a long time yet. I don't die, not soon, Saunders, lad.
Straw is a useful commodity. Under various conditions, it is used for sleeping upon, for making bricks, for making hats, handbags, baskets, and in single units, it is excellent for breaking a camel's back. Straw is also used to clutch. It was this latter proclivity that John Head utilized. A straw, a chance to get out of there. So, this is what he did.
Jailer! Jailer!
He yelled. He banged on bars.
Jailer! Jailer!
He yelled some more. He got the jailer's attention.
I know a murder that's been committed, and I'll tell you all about it. Their names were Thomas and Elizabeth Carter.
And he was led to the warden.
And they was father and daughter, Your Honor, warden. And their heads was bashed in.
And John Head was then led to Mr. Oldershaw, a magistrate.
It was 11 years ago, sir, in Cratfield in Suffolk.
Why have you waited this long to say anything of it?
I was just reminded of it.
By whom?
By a laddie whom you will hang this evening. His name is Saunders. I shared his cell.
And his gibbet, too, if this be a story for cocks and bulls.
Droot, I tell you, I know the murderer. The true murderer.
Who is he?
A man named Edmund Thrower. He himself told me of the killings. He even wished to give me the hammer with which he killed. I thought the story was a joke. But now I know it was not. And I remember.
Very well. Tell me about this Edmund Thrower and the murder of a father and a daughter.
It was like this, your worship. It was a rainy day, and I had me a little shop.
What kind of a shop?
Ling. And I was sitting there mending a shoe with a broken hammer.
And John Head proceeded to tell the magistrate version 2 of the double murder. You remember the one where Thrower offered Head a hammer, the very one he confessed with which he had committed the crime? The result of John Head's story, he was not hanged, and a search was begun for Edmund Thrower. Now that's really making the most out of straws, isn't it?
You are listening to Crime Classics and your host, Thomas Hyland. I guess we can all relax now. Since Arthur Godfrey told the nation he was going away for some surgery, the phone operators have been busy trying to answer the questions about when he'll be back. Things are normal now, though. It's August, and Arthur's back on his Monday through Friday daytime show and on the Talent Scouts Monday evenings. Most of these same CBS radio stations bring you Godfrey, so be listening for him next time round. And now, once again, Thomas Hyland in the second act of Crime Classics and his report to you on Mr. Thrower's Hammer.
England in 1804. It was a peaceful time for England. They didn't have the colonies to worry about anymore. And on the boards of the theaters, a play called Heels Up was all the rage. Also, the towns were getting accustomed to the sight of red Indians from America walking the streets. And it was the year when Lady Gwen Fitzmorue rode to hounds one day and showed up a week later in Paris, thereby rocking the world from the Bay of Bundy to the Mediterranean. Too, it was during the reign of King George. And for the most part, except for losing the colonies, George's reign was acceptable. Generally speaking, a pleasant time in England. In Suffolk now, however, there was a stir. Something about a double murder committed 11 years before. Memories and records were tapped, and sure enough, on a spring day in the year of 1793, Mr. Thomas Carter and his daughter Elizabeth had been hammered to death. One in his chair, the other over a gooseberry bush. The most fruitful tapping of memory was John Heads, who remembered that it was Edmund Thrower who did it. But Mr. Thrower was nowhere to be found. Observe now a coincidence of history.
Another tankard of ale, Mr. Fox.
Oh, thank you, Oldershaw. No. Just this pipe and to relax. Drink away if you like it, though. Don't mind me.
No, enough for me, too. Pass me the taper.
Aye, here.
It's good tobacco you brought from London town. What kind is it?
Virginia. Equally fine in the pipe or the nose. I'll send you a packet.
Aye, and thanks to you. Your business accomplished in Ipswich, Mr. Fox?
Aye. A matter of a legacy.
Some lucky people have legacies. Would that you would deliver me one.
And what would you do, Oldershaw?
Take a frigate to America. You've been to America, have you not, Mr. Fox?
Aye.
Is it true about Kentucky, Mr. Fox?
I would not know. I never got out of Virginia. As a matter of fact, though, the woman to whom I delivered the legacy plans to go to America, too. Mrs. Thrower.
Thrower, did you say?
Aye, Mrs. Edmund Thrower.
And where in Ipswich did you find her?
In a cardboard house on Pretty Prentice Lane. She is a gatherer and a seller of kindling wood. It took me a year to find her.
And I've been looking for her husband for 6 months now.
Her husband? Why?
For 2 murders.
I am quite sure that Mrs. Thrower knows where her husband is.
Oh?
This legacy I brought to her, the papers had to be signed by both her and her husband. She took the papers from me and brought them back a few days later and signed by Edmund Thrower.
Pretty Prentice Lane?
A cardboard house, and on the door it says, kindling for sale. Shall we enjoy one more tankard, Mr. Oldershaw? Oh, surely you're not going to Pretty Prentice Lane at this hour. Good night, Oldershaw.
Hello, mister.
I'm of the police.
What you want?
Are you Mrs. Edmund Thrower?
I be.
Where's your husband?
What you want to know for?
There's a crime I was told he did.
Ooh.
A terrible crime.
Of what manner?
Murder.
To whom?
A Mr. Thomas Carter and...
Elizabeth?
That's right.
Oh.
What's the matter?
Oh, such a sweet family. The man and his daughter. Ah, well, I remember them. And Edmund it was who killed him?
With a hammer, 'tis said.
Ah, a brutal way. For such gentle people, that is.
You knew them well?
Oft Elizabeth would fill me apron with gooseberries. And oft she'd tell me of my husband.
Oh?
What a terrible man he was. How I should leave him.
Why?
He was a tweaker and a scoundrel.
With other women, you mean?
Aye.
With Elizabeth?
Under her own dad's nose.
Did you believe her?
I saw with me own eyes. Mr. Carter and myself, we hid and we watched. And one day Edmund drove his sheep by and stopped into the house of the Carters. Oh, he was a tweaker. I left him.
Did he try to find you to bring you back?
He told all of Suffolk how he wanted me back. How he missed me. And me tried pudding. And the sweetness I was. And he found me. But I likes my freedom. I said...
What?
Edmund, tweaker, I likes my freedom. And it's plain to see you know what to do with yours, so let's keep it that way. Mister, you know what he did?
What?
He blew into his fist and slammed it down onto the table and swore he'd get even.
Where can I find him?
He's a smithy now, you know.
No, I did not.
Over in Carbrook. There's a line of willows. You'll find Edmund there, smithying. You know what? He didn't tell me nothing about putting the hammer to them nice people.
Edmund Thrower?
Yes?
I am a magistrate of the law. You will come with me. Thrower?
Yes, Your Honor, Magistrate.
How do you fare in your cell?
Tolerably, sir.
I'll listen to your story now, Thrower.
Yes, sir. I am a smithy, and I have been a smithy for the past year now. And before...
No, of the murder of the Carters, of why I have explained to you that you are here.
Very happy to. I can remember everything.
Good.
In March 1792, I was discharged from the Navy and went to work for Mr. Potter at Stradbrook in helping him to fetch and carry sheep about.
Till when?
Oh, till Michaelmas 1793. Sometime after March 1793, as I was going over Shotford Heath in Weybridge, Suffolk, I was overtaken by a man called John Head and one called Gypsy Dick. One of them had a skin ruby red wine.
And so it was that Edmund Thrower told version number 1. This is the version wherein John Head and Gypsy Dick were supposed to have committed that double murder. And so we come now to the final playing out of the conundrum I posed for you a while ago, and whose elements have been displayed for you. Jurisprudence now and the English law. Edmund Thrower was brought to trial. I have a copy here of the original indictment, and I'd like to read it to you. Edmund Thrower, 58 years of age, not having the fear of God before his eyes, but instigated by the devil, feloniously, willfully, maliciously, and with malice aforethought, made an assault on Elizabeth Carter at Cratfield in the county of Suffolk on the 16th day of October in the 33rd year of the present reign. In and upon the body of the said Elizabeth Carter, and with a certain hammer, then and therewith, did strike the said Elizabeth divers mortal wounds upon the head, of which she died, against the statute and against the king's peace. At this trial, Magistrate Oldershaw presided.
Edmund Thrower, how do you plead?
Not guilty.
Then a second indictment was read concerning the murder of Thomas, father of Elizabeth Carter.
Edmund Thrower, how do you plead?
Not guilty.
Then, from almost nowhere, a man who went by the name of Gypsy Dick was sworn and took the stand and made a statement. He told where he lived.
At Cratfield.
And did he recollect the murder?
Oh, yes. I was walking Shotford Heath on the morning of the murder. It was about 9 o'clock when my attention was excited. I heard a sharp woman's shriek, and I said to myself, I have heard a woman shriek. and it was enough to stun anybody.
And more.
I saw a man running or walking quick when I got to the 4 crossways from Cotter's house, and I made a kind of halt when he was before me. He went over a stile on the left hand of Crutfield Green, and it was a very bright morning, and I could see the man well. And it was that man sitting over there who is called Edmund Thrower.
So the case was given to the jury, who deliberated 35 minutes. Guilty. And sentence was passed.
Edmund Thrower, you have been tried and convicted by an impartial jury of your country of a most foul and cruel murder. A murder on an inoffensive poor girl who gave you no provocation, and of her aged father, too, in the moments of quietude. The motives which led to that murder are best known to God and your own conscience. Therefore, it behooves you to make your peace with him, before whose awful tribunal you must appear. You will be removed from hence to the place from whence you came, and from thence to a place of execution on Monday next, where you will be hanged by the neck until you are dead, and your body afterwards will be delivered to the surgeons, and the Lord Almighty receive your soul.
It took history 11 years to solve the puzzle, but was it solved? As a student of crime, I'm not sure, nor should you be. But one thing is certain. In the county of Suffolk, the willow grows green, and from one of them, there hung a smithy.
In just a moment, Thomas Hyland will tell you about next week's Crime Classic. Mr. Thrower's Hammer, tonight's Crime Classic, was adapted from the original court reports and newspaper accounts by Morton Fine and David Friedkin. The music was composed and conducted by Bernard Herrmann, and the program is produced and directed by Elliott Lewis. Thomas Hyland is portrayed on radio by Lou Merrill. In tonight's story, William Johnstone was heard as Mr. Thrower. Featured in the cast were Eric Snowden, Jay Novello, Joseph Kearns, Paula Winslow, Tudor Owen, and Alastair Duncan. Bob Lamont speaking. And here again is Thomas Hyland.
Next week, a certain house in the Heidelberg Township in Pennsylvania. Since 1795, the tenants of that house have been unable to remove the blood from the floorboards. My report to you will be on the Axe and the Droot Family, how they fared. Thank you. Good night.
In the wide open spaces east of Hollywood, some people forget that there's a university where men actually study in Hollywood. Later this evening on CBS Radio, you'll meet screen star Joseph Cotton as one of them, a professor who meets an intriguing young woman on a bus and begins to learn from her. It's a charming tale entitled Romance to a Degree, so be listening for it when, on most of these same stations later this evening, the Lux Summer Theater stars Joseph Cotton. Stay tuned now for Arthur Godfrey's Talent Scouts, which follows immediately over most of these same stations. And remember, Bill Cullen's Walk a Mile show is heard Monday evenings on the CBS Radio Network.
Good evening. This is Crime Classics. I am Thomas Hyland. I'm going to tell you another true crime story. Listen. A man writing. Listen closely because it's a quiet sound, an intimate sound. The year is 1795, and the man who is doing this quiet, intimate thing is named Peter Droot. He is writing his will, making with goose quill and parchment his bequest to his children. When he is done, unknowingly he will have made certain the death of his 2 sons. And now he is done. Now he has made certain. And tonight, my report to you on the Axe and the Droot family, how they fared.
Crime Classics, a series of true crime stories taken from the records and newspapers of every land from every time. Your host each week, Mr. Thomas Hyland, connoisseur of crime, student of violence, and teller of murders. Now, once again, Thomas Hyland.
The place is Heidelberg Township, Dauphin County, in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. During the closing years of the 18th century, Heidelberg snuggled against a bend of the Susquehanna. Its chief product was people, who were sent downstream to Harrisburg and overland to Philadelphia. So great was the margin of export over import that I can no longer locate Heidelberg Township on a very good map of Pennsylvania. However, during the time that it flourished, it was noted chiefly for its rocks, which were used all over the county to build churches, sheds, barns, and gravestones. The Droot family lived in a stone house, and Peter Droot was so wealthy that he was buried in a coffin imported from Bavaria, which was decorated with cherubs painted on porcelain and other sad scenes. His shroud was of genuine black Westphalian lace. His lawyer was of 100% Saxony stock and came from Philadelphia.
And to my daughter Elizabeth, I, Peter Droot, do will and bequeath the sum of £1,000. However, the sums I have already advanced to her in the amount of £800 shall be considered a part of this legacy. And to my sons, Francis and Peter, I leave the residue of my estate. But in the event of the death of either of my sons, without issue...
And his daughter Elizabeth, pure product of Heidelberg Township, was moved.
Some father I had, to leave to his own true daughter a measly £200.
You have done a deception to me.
Deception? How?
To tell me you were the favorite of the old man's children and would inherit the money. This is deception, to get me to be the husband of you.
John.
What?
I did not mean to deceive you.
Get thee away.
I begged you to believe me. Get thee from the chair and take my hand.
The likes of you, a spouse to the likes of me.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I said it, Elizabeth. Get thee away.
That vile man, that father to me, to have done this to his daughter, that I have to wait until the death of my brothers to get to his wealth. That I have to wait until the death of my brothers to get to his wealth. That I have to wait until the death of my brother.
Yes, I heard it.
And that as each one of them would die, I would get £500.
Yes, I heard it. Elizabeth.
What, husband?
How well do you love your brothers?
Francis is the oldest, and I can recall one day at the quarry when he struck me with a stone. This scar.
And the younger one, Peter.
Who was named for my father, and as cruel as my father, and who became my father's favorite in my stead. Who once called me a name I shall never forget.
Were they to die?
I am sister to them. I should weep. In your arms, husband. And you would make me smile again.
Smile now.
In your arms?
Yes.
John and Elizabeth Hauer, Pennsylvanian lovers. He, a stonemason who had more epitaphs at the tip of his chisel than any stonemason in the county. She, noted for her scar and her elderberry jelly. The old man just growing chill in his coffin from Bavaria. And John and Elizabeth, daughter and son-in-law, were getting ready to lay the rest of the family beside him.
I think we should start with the younger one first.
Why, whatever are you talking about?
He's better off dead than alive, anyhow.
Why, whatever are you talking about? Put me down. Put me down.
John put Elizabeth down and got on his horse. He rode to Harrisburg at a clip which can only be described as furious. Now, in Harrisburg, there lived a friend of his, an elderly gentleman who distilled things and bottled them. It is said that this gentleman could do a thing with toadstools and snake venom that you wouldn't believe. The gentleman, whose name is recorded in state annals as Uncle Hess der Kleine, was finally ducked in a pond for 12 minutes by the authorities. Well, John bought a few ounces of an essence from Uncle Hess and rode back to Heidelberg Township. And the next day, in the stone quarry, this is what happened.
And how is your brother Francis these days, Peter, lad?
I don't see much of him these days.
He's busy counting his money, I suppose, and yours.
He is a farmer. He farms.
A question, lad.
Aye, John?
Have you had the fancies lately?
How do you know about that?
Your sister, lad. She told me. How since a lad you have been seeing strangies and ghosties and whatnot.
And what of it?
Nothing, lad. Nothing.
It is true that I have been visited.
And me, too. And last week I was lying beneath the stars near the barn. There was a wailing, and I look about me. Such a beautiful fancy she was. And she was crying.
Go on. Go on, John.
Of such beauty. And I reached out my hands to her, and her image was smoke.
Wondrous.
I can see her any time I wish it.
How?
I have a thing here, a potion, a small bottle of it, prepared specially to lie under the stars to see this wondrous, beautiful lady.
Was she indeed so beautiful?
I am unschooled. I have not the words for her beauty.
Please.
What, lad?
Give me of that vial. Let me taste.
She stirs your imagination, lad.
Yes, oh yes.
You can almost see her in your mind now, can you not?
Even while you talk, I try to imagine her. Please, give me of the vial.
Here, drink it.
Yes.
All of it. Good lad. Tonight, lie down under the stars and see what will happen to you.
Thank you, John.
The bottle is good no longer. Throw it away, lad.
Poor lad. 18 years old and given to fancies. Now, all of us know that many lads of 18, even today, are given to fancies. But young Peter Droot was very rich and lived in Pennsylvania, and it was a rare moment indeed when he wasn't beginning or ending a fancy. And, too, this, we must remember, was the era of potions to conjure up most anything, from rain to a lady made of smoke. So, young Peter Droot had everything going for him that night: youth, imagination, and potion. He went out under the stars and lay down near the barn, just like his brother-in-law told him to do. What happened then may be described as a good night in the country gone to waste.
Oh! Oh, my stomach! Ooh! My stomach! My stomach! My stomach! Oh! Oh! Oh!
That rooster crowing really upset schedules in old Heidelberg Township that night. People and animals looked out of the window and wondered what ailed that rooster anyhow. It was too early to get out of bed and too late to go back to sleep, so they gave ear to the commotion. Through the din rose the wails of Peter Droot, who had seen no fancies but was writhing with a terrible ache in his stomach. His brother Francis brought him back to the house and applied an old Pennsylvania poultice, which relieved the lad no end. So, the next morning in the stone quarry...
And all that happened, John, was an ache right here. A grievous ache.
Poor lad. Lad.
Yes?
When you lay yourself down under the stars, which way were you facing?
Toward the east. Toward Bruder Gansel's farm.
I should have told you.
I did it wrong?
Oh, it was my fault. You faced the wrong way. However, come here. Walk with me. Sit yourself down here by this pile of rocks.
Here?
To your left a wee bit. Very good. Now close your eyes and think hard.
Of what?
Of beautiful things. Silently I will say a magical thing. And I will go from you a little and behind you. Peter, keep closed your eyes.
Say it. Say the magical thing.
Aye, right now. Men, all of you, the lad Peter Droot is buried beneath the rocks. He is dead.
No. No, I am not. The slide of rocks did not touch me. I heard their sound and I leaped and
What a relief it is to me. Oh, how happy I am.
But why have we come here, John? To the loft of the barn?
I have another way to show you the fancy.
How?
This rope I have here tied to the rafter. Place it about your neck.
Very well. Do not let me fall, for the rope is not long enough to reach the floor.
Is the rope tight enough about your neck now, lad?
Tight enough? For what?
For this!
John? The rope broke, John. Please don't be frightened. I'm not hurt. I'm not hurt at all.
And as long as Peter stayed alive, John couldn't collect any of the legacy, which is why John sat in a hayloft, head in hand, and pondered. Then John thought about an axe, and he pondered no more.
You are listening to Crime Classics and your host, Thomas Hyland. Patrolman Kirk reported in from Box 23 at 1:42, on time to the minute. His next call was to come from Post 7. He never made it. When they finally found him, he had been shot to death. Was it suicide or murder? The steady, detailed work the real police do will again be evident on CBS Radio's 21st Precinct tomorrow evening as the world's largest police force tackles the case of Patrolman Kirk and Post 7. 21st Precinct is broadcast on most of these same stations. Be at Post 7 tomorrow. And now, once again, Thomas Hyland and the second act of Crime Classics, and his report to you on the Axe and the Droot family, how they fared.
A few notes about Pennsylvania as it neared the end of the 18th century. It was already a state to be reckoned with. General Washington had camped there during the winter of 1777-78 at a place known as Valley Forge. In the town of Chester, Mad Anthony Wayne drilled his troops in an unusual manner in the courthouse square. The western part of the state was rife with forests, game, trout streams, and beneath it, the silent flow of oil, to be discovered 50 years later in Titusville, of all places. A dominion of wealth, discovered and as yet undiscovered, of history, made and as yet unmade. To prove my point, a person by the name of Barbara Fritchie, who was born in Old Heidelberg Township, had not quite yet been born. But across the street from the house where Barbara would first see the light of day, where her grubby little fingers would reach for her first needle, across the street lived John and Elizabeth Hauer, man and wife. As is our prerogative, let's look in on them.
The rope broke.
What a pity.
It seems I can't kill him. Something always goes wrong.
You always were a hasty man, ruin things.
In the barn this morning, I did everything neatly.
The rope broke.
It was a new rope.
And both of my brothers still live.
I thought of something.
And both of my brothers still live. And both of my brothers still live.
Would you listen, spouse?
I
thought of an axe.
And what did you think of an axe?
How it can smash things.
What things?
Tables.
And cups.
Chairs.
And chickens.
And skulls.
And skulls. And husband?
What?
Will you do it?
It will be done.
By whom? By you?
By a man I know and his friend.
And after it's done, what shall I have?
You will have no brothers.
And in their stead?
Money.
Husband.
Yes?
Lift me, spin me around.
Aye? What is it? To talk with you, Charles.
Come in, man. To talk with me?
Aye. Where's your friend, Patrick?
Has the talk money in it?
Aye.
Before or after the occasion?
A little before and much after.
Patrick. Wake. Wake, Patrick. There's money in it. John Howell.
Aye.
Come into here.
Good evening to you, Patrick.
Now, John Howell, speak to the both of us.
My wife's brothers are alive. If they were to die, my dear wife would receive all of their money.
And, is this the end of it?
A very great sum of money.
And?
And this axe I have brought...
It cuts deep.
Aye.
Well, Patrick? Well, John Howard? Wait. It is enough. For now. Patrick, get out of bed, man.
There were frontiers in those days. As a matter of fact, our country was more frontier than anything else. And the people, those who survived, were the fittest. I would like to describe two fit people of the time. Charles McManus.
Which is my name.
I am 42 years old. I stand 6 inches above 5 feet, and my weight is close to 200 pounds. Once in Killarney, I killed a man with my fists. I fled to America. In New York, I killed again with my fist. I fled to the backwoods of Pennsylvania.
Patrick Donegan.
That's me. I'm much too slight to kill with my fists. I must have steel in my hand. There was a woman in Donegal County. Her death brought me here, where I am now.
Very fit persons indeed. Killers. And attuned to the wilderness. They moved quietly.
The older one sleeps there, he said. Hold him, Patrick. And the young one sleeps in there, he said. Hold him, Patrick.
Are you a fancy?
Now we can go.
Now I'll do the dancing.
Come to me. Come to me.
They are dead. They are dead.
Outside the night is warm.
And there is moon.
And there will be us.
Gently. In a moment. John, hold me. Hold.
They came, the townspeople, and they knocked on the door of John Hauer and his wife Elizabeth. And they brought him and his wife to the house where Peter and Francis Droot were lying. Elizabeth fell down upon the floor and wept bitterly. John sat down and made no remark. And this is the tableau, 1 hour after the murder had been committed. And the townspeople had found that nothing had been plundered from the house. And the townspeople knew that only John and Elizabeth would profit from the death of the brothers. And an axe had been found. And the townsmen knew it to be the axe of John Hauer. Then John Hauer made a remark.
I did not do it.
Then they asked him who did do it.
2 murderers.
2, they asked him. How do you know it was 2, John?
I hired them. Hi, what is it?
So now it is, Charles. Open.
Hey, who are all these people? What people have you brought with you?
The man holding the torch there is Edna. By his side and holding another torch is George. And then next to him, neighbors and neighbors and neighbors. They have come after you and after Patrick.
For what?
For what you have done.
For what?
For the murder of the brothers of my wife.
You hired us, John.
I told them that.
Patrick, wake up.
In June 1798, a trial was made charging the three men and Elizabeth Howard with murder.
I have never been one whose life has been governed by the lust for money. Only love and sweet solicitude for my husband. If it has been my husband's immodesty to have committed murder, I do love him still.
I committed no murder. He committed no murder, he says. He gave me an axe. He gave me money. I returned them and said, do your dirty work yourself. Didn't I, Patrick?
As sure as you're born. I heard you refuse the man distinct, and I heard him muttering that he'd do it himself.
Gentlemen of the jury, as your judge, I now charge you. The murder of Peter and Francis Droot rouses the indignation of the county. Its atrocity is unequaled by anything of the kind hitherto known in Pennsylvania. The execution of the murders was as horrid as the motives were base and groveling. The keenest sensations must arise in the minds of all good men and worthy citizens.
The judge then went into particular detail of all the evidence that had been given and committed the case to the jury at 4 o'clock on Sunday afternoon. At 7 o'clock in the evening, they returned a verdict. John Howard, guilty. Charles McManus, guilty. Patrick Donegan, guilty. Elizabeth Howard, not guilty.
I'm pleased. I'm so pleased. Goodbye, my husband.
The guilty were all of them hanged on Saturday, July 14th, 1798. Elizabeth Howard mourned for a respectable interval, then married again to one Obed Fanistock. The Fanistocks moved to Maryland, to the growing community of Cumberland, where they bought a house and a well and sold water to settlers moving west. And it all happened in old Heidelberg Township, which I can no longer find on the map.
In just a moment, Thomas Hyland will tell you about next week's crime classic. The Droot Family, tonight's crime classic, was adapted from the original court reports and newspaper accounts by Morton Fine and David Friedkin. The music was composed and conducted by Bernard Herrmann, and the program is produced and directed by Elliott Lewis. Thomas Hyland is portrayed on radio by Lou Merrow. In tonight's story, Mary Jane Croft was heard as Elizabeth and Clayton Post as John. Featured in the cast were Herb Butterfield, Sam Edwards, Paul Frees, and Charles Davis. George Walsh speaking. And here again is Thomas Hyland.
Next week, San Francisco Bay, midway between Oakland and San Francisco, on board the good ferry El Capitan. The year is 1870, and the events are catastrophic, as I report to you on the incredible trial of Laura D. Fair. Thank you. Good night.
Academy Award winner Joan Fontaine will be your star in Leave Her to Heaven on Lux Summer Theater on CBS Radio later tonight. You'll enjoy this celebrated story of a ruthless woman who destroys the things she loves. And you like Joan Fontaine in this dramatic role. That's Leave Her to Heaven, starring Joan Fontaine, later tonight on the Lux Summer Theater show on most of these same stations. And remember, Bill Cullen's Walk a Mile show is heard Monday evenings on the CBS Radio Network.
Good evening. This is Crime Classics. I am Thomas Hyland with another true story of crime. Listen. The good ship El Capitan used to sail the bay between Oakland and San Francisco in the 1870s, mostly in the fog. Its skipper was Captain Bill Tranchell, and he was known among the ferry boat set as having a heavy hand on the whistle. He found any number of excuses for tooting that whistle, but the one excuse which he never forgot was the time he was entertaining Mr. and Mrs. Crittenden on the bridge, and an uninvited lady named Mrs. Laura D. Fair suddenly threw open the door, walked over to Mr. Crittenden, and shot him through his heart. Captain Bill Tranchell, it must be admitted, for once lost all control. And unwittingly gave the nautical signal for icebergs in San Francisco Bay, which caused much hoisting of flags and battening of hatches, but could not change the fact that Mr. Crittenden was lying face downward on the deck. So, tonight, my report to you on the incredible trial of Laura D. Fair.
Crime Classics, a series of true crime stories taken from the records and newspapers of every land from every time. Your host each week, Mr. Thomas Hyland, connoisseur of crime, student of violence, and teller of murders. Now, once again, Thomas Hyland.
San Francisco in the 1870s was coming of age. It was getting civilized. By this I mean that gentlemen who carried guns wore them beneath their coats, and the can-can could be viewed by mixed company. And mixed company was the theme of the day. It was a very romantic time, and a time of elegance, of crystal chandeliers reflecting swirls of silken gowns, and from another angle so did polished brass cuspidors. Already the names Barbary Coast, Nob Hill, Gold Coast, and Chinatown were becoming legends. And if we are to believe all we hear, Grandfather didn't have it so tough. If he chanced to look over a certain fence on a spring day in 1870, he would have seen this. A lovely lady on a swing, dipping, swooping, gliding, soaring. A lovely lady with a lovely name, Laura. Laura with a rose twisted in her hair. And on the ground,
Isn't
her mama...
my daughter a pretty sight, Mr. Crittenden?
And Mr. Crittenden, late of West Point, Kentucky, and Virginia City.
Truly the fairest of the fair, Mrs. Lane. Bewitching. If I didn't know otherwise, I'd say she'd been bred in the bluegrass.
My daughter's first husband was from the bluegrass country.
Now, how about her second husband?
He never did say. There was no one around who would ask him either.
Oh?
He was forever shooting things, walls, chickens, various things.
Your fair daughter has lived a fulsome life.
Look at her up there, like a ladybird.
Hello, Laura. Up there like a ladybird.
You're going to marry my daughter, Mr. Crittenden?
I fear she still grieves for her late husband.
Her third husband was tragic. Poor Colonel Fair.
That's the one who blew out his brains, isn't it?
I wonder why. Mr. Crittenden.
Yes?
You're going to marry my daughter?
If she weren't still grieving for the Colonel, why does she still bear his name? Why does she still call herself Laura Fair?
Why not? Look at her, swinging like she does. Have you seen a woman more fair?
No.
Laura, come down here. Oh, the grace of my daughter.
She is lovely.
But 32, going on 33, and she doesn't swing as high as she used to. Mr. Crittenden.
Yes?
Forgive me for being rude. I forgot to ask you. How is your wife?
In the best of health, thank you.
You must tell her soon
Mama,
that...
Mama, dear, you get on the swing, Mama, dear. Mr. Crittenden will give you a start.
Oh, some other time. Mr. Crittenden and I were just talking about Mrs. Crittenden, dear.
Oh, how is she?
In the best of health, thank you.
Have you told her?
I told her you bore her no malice.
What did she say?
That she likes you, too.
Oh, I'm so happy. Now you go home and tell her you want to marry me.
My dear Laura.
You go home and tell your wife you want to marry my daughter. Come along, Laura, dear. Let's cat.
So they went into the house and they tatted, Mama and Laura. And while they're doing this, let me fill you in with some background notes. Laura and Mama had newly arrived from Virginia City, where their family-style rooming house had netted them $45,000. During the years and the welter of collecting the rents, changing sheets and towels, and setting the board with succulents, Mama had gained and lost 3 sons-in-law. It seemed that fate consistently made her daughter a hard woman to be married to. Laura's 3 husbands, each of them, died. And as to our other principal, Alexander Parker Crittenden, he was a corporation lawyer with a wife and 7 children and 2 grandchildren. Once, hot and dusty and alone in Virginia City, he happened into Laura's house, made known his desire for a bath and rest. No sooner had he changed into fresh linens and had listened to Laura's tale of how she had become widowed recently than he became that weekend her star boarder. And, in turn, Laura and Mama were so taken with his quips and twinklings that they followed him to San Francisco. They took a house on Nob Hill, and there tatted and waited for a proposal of marriage. They understood the delay. They comprehended that Mr. Crittenden's wife was of a peculiar mold.
How is Laura, Alexander?
Fine, ma'am. Just fine.
And her mother?
Eager?
Eager?
Yes, ma'am. She wants me for her son-in-law.
And no wonder. You're a fine man, Alexander.
Thank you, ma'am.
And a good father.
I try to be.
And an excellent husband.
Yes, ma'am.
Such a man as you is hard to come by, Alexander, dear. I should miss you.
I should miss you.
Then it's settled. Laura and her mother will be our good friends.
But Laura wants me for her husband. She keeps asking me. And her mother, too.
Dear.
What?
Tell them no, but nicely.
I've told them.
Keep telling them.
You're a remarkable woman.
Thank you, Alexander.
To be friends with a woman who wants to take me away from you.
I respect ambitions and honesty. Laura has both. That she should love you has my complete understanding.
Ma'am.
Yes, Alexander?
I must tell you that you are a flower. Womanhood should be proud to number you among its sisters. How many's the time?
Alexander, we have an appointment for dinner tonight.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am.
What is it, Alexander?
Laura loves me, and I think I might love her right back.
Why, then, eat your heart out, Alexander. Now hurry, dear. We're going out to dinner.
Oh?
I've sent a message to Laura to meet us at Furbish's for dinner.
Oh.
I do so enjoy watching her eat. She's so ravenous. Well, hurry. Hurry along.
Crittenden?
Yes, Laura.
Isn't today a pleasant one, though?
Every day is pleasant when I'm near you, dear Laura.
And last night, how wonderful. Sitting between you and your wife. What a wonderful woman she is.
I wish you two wouldn't like each other so much.
We both have the same consuming interest in life, Mr. Crittenden. You?
Laura.
Yes?
I must tell you that you are a flower. Womanhood should be proud.
When are we going to get married?
Soon.
Upon your honor?
Upon my honor.
You're a liar, Mr. Crittenden.
Laura.
Therefore, I shall not see you again ever.
Laura.
I've thought it over, and that's the way.
I love you, Laura.
And you love your wife, too.
I'd die without you.
You love your wife more than you love me.
No.
Swear it.
I swear it.
Liar.
I mean it, Laura. You'll see, I'll get rid of her somehow, and I'll marry you. I'll make her see that I don't love her. I won't even kiss her anymore.
Swear it?
I swear.
I'll race you to the tree, Mr. Crittenden.
It's all right.
Come on. Come on, Mr. Crittenden.
After that, there were more foot races.
When is he going to marry you, Laura? Soon.
And much swinging in the garden.
Has he set the date for your marriage yet, Laura? Laura, come down out of there and talk to me.
And the tatting session.
Mama.
What?
I'm weary of his excuses.
And one day, wearily, she wandered down Market Street. There was a shop on Market Street run by a fellow who specialized in four-shooters. Now, a four-shooter is the same thing as a six-shooter, but it's for ladies because it weighs 2 shots less. Now, this fellow who specialized in four-shooters was such a persuasive salesman that no sooner had Laura pressed her pert little nose against his shop window that he had her inside measuring her palm for pistol grips. When this chap let her go, Laura was the proud owner of a pearl-handled pistol, which this chap personally guaranteed. And that was in the days when a guarantee meant something. Also, you must be told that on the morning the purchase was made, Laura had been without a husband for 1 whole year. Laura had never experienced this omission since she was 18 years old. So, gun in purse, she took to following Mr. Crittenden around. One night, she followed the gentleman and his wife through the fog onto a boat called El Capitan. This was the ferry boat between Oakland and San Francisco. Its skipper, you remember, was Bill Tranchell, the heavy-handed fellow who liked to entertain on his glass-enclosed bridge.
A toast.
Well, thank you, Captain. Thank you very much.
To your very good health, sir. And to the health of your very charming wife.
And to yours, Captain.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, this place is getting overrun with tugboats. That'll show 'em.
Well, shall we drink?
Go right ahead.
Ma'am?
Yes, Alexander?
Tonight, somehow, you appear radiant.
Oh, dear Alexander.
Ma'am, you're very dear to me.
Dear.
Captain, you don't mind if I kiss the lady?
Oh, you just go right ahead.
Ah, dear lady. Laura!
No, you listen here.
You said you wouldn't kiss her anymore.
I leave you for the moment with this note. Though he died face to the deck, Mr. Crittenden was not buried at sea.
Listening to Crime Classics and your host, Thomas Hyland, and his report to you on the incredible trial of Laura D. Fair.
In 1870, San Francisco was a city where violence was commonplace. But this violence was by far predominantly of the species male slaughtering male, or male doing in female. So when Laura Fair shot Mr. Crittenden on a ferry boat, she practically invented a category and thereby caused a stir. It planted ideas in feminine minds where such ideas never dared to be. The sale of four-shooters skyrocketed, and somehow the sale of marriage licenses likewise. The episode on the ferry boat was a shot in the arm for the suffragette movement. 2, the entertainment business slumped, as many a husband spent more evenings in the bosom of his family. It was a city seething with unrest, with slow change, with static passion. It was a city whose entire attentions were focused on the trial of Laura D. Fair for the murder of Alexander Parker Crittenden.
There will be order in the court. You may continue with your testimony, Captain Frenchel.
There he was, kissing that lady over there.
I refuse to be referred to as that lady over there. I was his wife. No, you are not. I was.
Mrs. Fair,
Yes, Your Honor.
how do you explain you were Mr. Crittenden's wife?
I was. Not that woman over there. I refuse to be referred to as that.
You will get your chance to testify, Mrs. Crittenden. Mrs. Fair will answer the question.
I thought I was on the witness box here, Your Honor.
In a moment, Captain. I wish to hear why Mrs. Fair considers herself to be the wife of Mr. Crittenden.
Since the moment we were both born, our love was made in heaven and our marriage too.
I warn the spectators that another such outburst may cause me to clear the court. Go on, Mrs. Fair.
Thank you.
Oh, you're quite welcome.
My feelings for Mr. Crittenden would have been profane had they not been made sacred in heaven.
Silence! 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 Sergeant at Arms will bring forward immediately the parties that applauded.
I applauded more than anyone else, Your Honor.
The Sergeant at Arms will bring forward that lady.
I applauded more than her.
And will bring forward that man, too.
Judge, it was my fault.
Of course not, Mrs. Fair. You were not to blame for the disturbance.
Well, Judge, human nature could not stand the denial of the truth by that lady over there. It was I, indeed, who was married to Mr. Crittenden.
What is your name, sir?
Francis M. Hughes.
Did you applaud?
I stamped my foot.
Why did you stamp your foot?
I felt the compulsion.
Why?
When I was carried away with what Mrs. Fair said, I felt the compulsion.
I fine you $25.
Judge,
Yes, Mrs. Fair.
I will pay it.
You are dismissed, Mr. Hughes.
God bless you, Mrs. Fair. Bless you, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Hughes.
And your name, madam?
Emily Pitt Stevens.
Did you applaud?
I said, good, good. And I put my hand down on the bench in front of me, so.
You are fined $25.
But I made no noise with my feet.
But with your hands, you did.
With my hand, I did.
You are fined $25.
I will pay it.
Thank you, Mrs. Fair.
And thank you.
I rather believe you than that woman over there.
Mrs. Fair, you will have to draw heavily upon your bank if you will pay the fines of all who applauded.
As long as you find them for cheering me, I will pay those fines.
Your Honor, just a moment, Captain. I just wanted you to know what could happen, Mrs. Fair.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Captain, you may proceed.
And Mrs. Fair came in and shot him with a 4-shooter.
That's all. Thank you, Captain. You may step down.
Yes, I have the court report here. And that's what they say. And if you think this was an unseemly way to conduct a trial, I have something else here. I'd like to read it to you. This is a consensus of legal opinion of the time, and I quote, "The trial was conducted in the main thoroughly and well, with somewhat less regard for the decorum of the courtroom than is customary in most eastern cities, though far in advance of the practice in New York City in this respect." Unquote. And now that we have resolved any uneasiness you may have had about the conduct of the trial, let's listen in again. Mama on the stand is an imposing figure. She wears brocaded black and a great veil that drops from her hat to her waist. Her feet, however, were cold.
Bring the lady a foot warmer. That cushion will...
Thank you, my neck. I think that'll be much better, Judge. Thank you.
Your feet will warm up in no time at all.
Oh, I'm sure of it.
And now, what were you saying about your daughter?
I've always had trouble with her.
I know what you mean, being a parent myself.
Oh, not like Laura.
What do you mean?
Doctors, doctors, doctors. My daughter has tried to kill herself on numerous occasions. There's madness in the family. Besides, my daughter's second husband was mad. I don't think that helped. Grief and doctors and madness. I tell you, raising Laura was trying. But I think I did a pretty good job. Although my daughter is not sane, you know.
Not sane?
Crazy.
And doctors were called to corroborate, and this they did. Little-known facts about Laura Fair were brought to light and caused more nudging of elbows than applause. Some of her ailments, described by the learned physicians, had symptoms that weren't talked about very much in those days. One medico described the raving exhibition put on by Laura, a recounting of which held spellbound his students at medical college. Another doctor described a malady owned by Laura Fair so vividly in one of the trade journals that he was considered 20 years ahead of his time. When faced with these revelations, Laura accepted them by lowering her eyes modestly. Dr. Leonard Bifrosser, chief spokesman for the doctors, summed up medical testimony by suggesting strongly that Laura was unconscious when she shot Mr. Just a moment. That's what it says. Laura was unconscious when she shot Mr. Crittenden. Back to the trial now, and the lady who became Mrs. Crittenden by marrying Alexander in the city hall, somewhere in Kentucky.
It is ridiculous to believe there is madness in that woman over there. She's vicious, predatory, and since the moment she was thrown in contact with my husband, she pursued him, worried him, and pled with him to marry her. That this necessitated getting rid of me didn't worry her in the least. She killed my husband out of frustration and anger. That woman there!
The high spot of the trial was on a morning in November. The court had denied Laura permission to lie on her lounge, upon which she had reclined throughout the trial. So Laura has been made to arise and take the stand, was so sworn in, demanded and received a foot warmer, and said interesting things like this.
I told Mr. Crittenden to let his wife keep the furniture. I told him we could get new furniture and a new home. And that in every corner in each room we could kiss. And he could hold me in his arms in each chair, sit by me on the sofa, hang over me while I played his favorite march on the piano.
In the afternoon, she enthralled listeners with this.
And I remember well when Mr. Crittenden took me on his knee, put arm about my neck, his dear face close to mine. And he whispered, shall I say it, Judge?
Please do.
He whispered that he would cross mountains unshod, walk through storm uncovered to come to me. He said he cared not for hardship nor exposure, for every step he took brought him nearer to me. To the other and better half of his own soul, he would tell me. Shall I go on?
Please do.
The night it is said I shot him, I can remember only glass.
Glass?
Cold to the touch, and through it, a disagreeable and peculiar voice.
Did you recognize the voice?
That woman over there.
Continue.
I put my hand against this glass, and it opened, and I saw Mr. Crittenden leaning close to a woman and kissing her, and I felt myself slip into an awful pit of blackness. I do not remember how I got away from there, or what was done to me after.
Gentlemen of the jury, have you reached a verdict? We have, Your Honor. The accused will rise from her lounge and face the jury. The jury will face the accused. And what is your verdict? Guilty of murder in the first degree.
Led away to jail, An enterprising young reporter of the time, Garth Prebles, interviewed her in her cell, where he learned and had published the fact that Mrs. Fair had spent $12,000 in her defense. Chicken feed to what she spent on her second trial, which was in the amount of $30,000, and which broke her. Where this $30,000 went to is a mystery, since the second trial was not nearly so spectacular as the first. Captain Billy Tranchell of the ferry boat El Capitan somehow was not there as a witness. There was a new judge, too, who in later years became known as Kindly Judge Reardon, and a new jury, 12 men and true out of 400 examined.
And our love was a greater love than is given to most women.
That was the second trial, and that was Laura again. And this time, another verdict. Not guilty. So, after acquittal, she went on a lecture tour and told of her hardships. That was Mama, tambourine handler, advance man, and treasurer.
How did we do, Mama? $1.85. When you lecture tonight, honey, pep it up a little. Promise, Mama, will you? I'll make it real peppy, Mama.
Mama passed her last tambourine one cold winter's night in Sacramento in the year 1889. But Laura lived on. She lived until the age of 82, after another husband and another long period of widowhood. Until the moment of her death, she insisted that Mr. Crittenden had only been her very good friend. And once, in a moment of mutual transgression, they held each other's hand. That's what it says, right here.
In just a moment, Thomas Hyland will tell you about next week's Crime Classic. Laura D. Fair, tonight's Crime Classic was adapted from the original court reports and newspaper accounts by Morton Fine and David Friedkin. The music was adapted from themes of the period and conducted by Bernard Herrmann, and the program is produced and directed by Elliot Lewis. Thomas Hyland is portrayed on radio by Lou Merrill. In tonight's story, Mary Jane Croft was heard as Laura and Florence Walcott as Mama. Featured in the cast were Herb Butterfield, William Johnstone, Paula Winslow, Gene Wood, and Joseph Granby. Hugh Douglas speaking. And here again is Thomas Hyland.
Next week, Ham, England, in the year 1673, a time of money cutting and highwaymen, and of course, violent death. My report to you will be on the Alsop family, how it diminished and grew again. Thank you. Good night.
Crime Classics has come to you through the worldwide facilities of the United States Armed Forces Radio and Television Service.
Good evening. This is Crime Classics. I am Thomas Hyland with another true story of crime. Listen.
The sound you hear is that of a grave being dug on a hillside in a lonely section of England in the 17th century. And that was English thunder of the era. And that, a soft English drizzle. Water, earth, sky, elementals. Surrounding James Alsop, money clipper, highwayman, father-in-law, grave digger. It'll take him about another hour to finish, and about another hour to give it a corpse. For in that time, James Alsop will add murder to his other attributes. And tonight, my report to you on the Alsop family, how it diminished and grew again.
Crime Classics, a new series of true crime stories from the records and newspapers of every land, from every time. Your host each week, Mr. Thomas Hyland, connoisseur of crime, student of violence, and teller of murders. Now, once again, Mr. Thomas Hyland.
The year 1673, and the place, Ham, a small village about 4 miles from London, situated in the county of Essex. Now, the month is March, at the tail end of a wild winter, a winter of great snows, much poverty, and much returning to the earth of the folk of Ham, young and old. Never was there such a winter within the memory of what villages were left alive. And now that the snows had melted and the first warmth blew across the heath and into cold stone rooms, there was stirring among the hamlings who had survived. Man and wife smiled on each other where yesterday had been chill. Life must go on. But what of those whom the ravages of the season and starvation had made lonely? What of, say, a widow? What of, say, widow Ursula, who lost her husband to the wild dogs 2 days after Christmas? What of her? Well, let's see.
You be lonely, are you, widow?
It
was a cruel thing has happened to your husband.
Cruel?
Then now it is the springtime.
And March is soft on the moors.
April is a good time for marrying, widow.
When I married last, it was in April. It was April after a soft winter when my husband built this house that we married. It was a good marriage.
April is soon, and you should have another husband. You're a widow of good credit and competent estate, and you'd make a young man a comely bundle.
Teddy?
You're welcome, Widow Ursula. A comely bundle indeed.
How long has it been since your wife passed on, James Alsop?
6 years, come next Bloomsbury Day.
I heard she was a shrew.
A witch, a shrew, a gollygog. But a woman of fervor, and she fruited me with 2 sons.
I have seen the younger one.
They said to me the Widow Ursula had looked upon him.
A robust lad, sinewy.
Will you marry my son?
What do you call him?
Christopher.
Christopher. A likely name for April.
And Ursula will make a likely bride.
Aye.
Morning.
Oh, Father, what did the widow say? Will she marry my brother?
She will. To us, William.
Aye. So, my brother Christopher will take a bride.
Your brother is not like us. He needs a woman to take care of him.
He is a dolt.
Perhaps.
And cowardly.
Maybe.
For instance, he needs his father to propose for him.
He has a shy manner.
Cowardly. For instance, down there, where the carriage will roll soon. Would he have the courage to stop it and point a knife and demand money or life and mean it?
No, not Christopher.
There, around the hill's curve, the carriage. Father? Aye.
So the two of them, father and son William, galloped down the hillside, donned masks, and stopped the carriage. And with a well-a-day and cocked pistols, they robbed the driver and the passenger. History records that the passenger, as coincidence would have it, was none other than Dame Maggie Chavez, who, it may be assumed, was even then on the first leg of her mad dash to Lisbon. Gallants that they were, the highwaymen took from the lady only her gold coins. Her jewelry, the famous mementos from the Viscount of Gloucester, was not touched. This might have been, however, because of the hiding places for gems that the dame is famous for. And with another well-a-day, James Alsop and William rode down to the town of Ham, and to home, and to their workshop. Here, they divested themselves of garments necessary to robbing on the road, placed them in a trunk, took out a pair of shears, and went to work.
This year's mintage is harder than last year's.
Work, meaning clipping off small edges of the gold coins. Decreasing the diameter, in other words, without decreasing the face value. So, when you were finished, you had the original gold coins and gold clippings as a bonus.
Else the shears are dulled.
Else you, Father, are growing older and weaker.
Aye?
I said it.
Did you now? What do you say now? Or do you have too much blood in your mouth, son William?
I made a jest. I asked your pardon.
Get back to work. There's a pile of sovereigns on the table to be clipped and clippings taken to London to be sold.
Right.
Who be it?
Christopher.
Come in, son. Hello, son.
Hello, Father. Hello, William.
Did the day go well for you, son?
I dreamed how it would be to take a wife.
You like the taste of blood, William?
I dreamed how it would be to take a wife. And it was a fine dream.
Yeah, I spoke to the widow Ursula.
And asked her what I told you, Father?
Aye.
Will she have me?
In April.
I'm grateful to you.
You're a good son, Christopher. You make your father proud.
Did you have a good day on the road, Father?
Now, that's thoughtful you ask. Aye, a good day indeed. A carriage with a rich lady.
And much gold, I see.
One thing, son. When you're with wife, no talk of this and what happens on the road. Not a whisper on it.
Oh, not a whisper?
Yeah. We have to do much clipping, your brother and I. Take a handful of coins, lad. Buy some things for April.
When it came, it was the mildest April in years, and the good townsfolk of Ham wore homespun linen of most feathery weight for the nuptials, the widow Ursula to Christopher Alsop. There was much gaiety. Laughter spilled, as did the cooling spiced mead. And, as sometimes happens at such festivals, a group of the younger set thought they spied a druid and ran off into the woods to give it chase. But the older set, the ones who had already chased their druids, stayed. And they smiled kindly upon the bride Ursula as she took the hand of Christopher and led him into the warm stone cottage.
My husband.
My bride.
You dance well, the saraband, husband.
Do you not have a good word for my jig?
The saraband, you whirled and lifted me high.
You are comely, bride Ursula.
You are young and handsome.
I love thee.
And you will gentle me and be ardent.
Aye.
And I to you. Christopher.
Aye?
Your father is rich.
He is. He has told me I do not need to employ myself at anything for a year as a wedding gift, if I wish it.
Oh, he must be very rich, then. What does he do for his riches?
I cannot say.
But you are husband.
Then come to me.
Yes.
The talk in April and in May when the bloom was on the sedge.
Come, dearie.
Tell your wife what your daddy dear does for his riches.
And in June, when the drone bee danced for its queen.
If you do not tell me, dearie, I shall be unhappy, and you shall be sorry.
And for the rest of the summer, love and curiosity, and a Christopher who wouldn't talk about his father. But in September, when the first leaf dropped.
Now, what does he do, your father?
Come here.
I will not.
Bride.
Wife now. And I ask you, what does your father do for his riches?
What curiosity is yours, Ursula?
And who would not be curious? The way your father is hardly home, nor your brother. The way they ride the roads so often and after lock themselves in that room. What do they there? And why am I not permitted there in their workroom? And why does your brother journey to London so often?
Come here.
When you will answer me, not before.
I'll not answer you. I'll tell you this only. It is September, and you have become a shrew.
You will rue the day you called me that name. You will rue it.
Take a fresh horse. After we'll clip the coins and you will go down to London.
Aye. What ails you, Father? There's no humor in you anymore. You worry about Christopher?
He's not happy with his wife.
As I said it.
He says she's a shrew.
And what woman is not?
That she's curious.
That's the woman Alice is.
That she needs to know what we do. You and I.
So she would gossip about it. That we are highwaymen and money clippers. She would gossip and the law would hear of it and we would jig from a gallows.
It grieves me. It would be a terrible thing.
Hello, father-in-law. Brother-in-law. I had never been here before. In the workshop before. I thought to clean it. To dust a bit. What are these clippers for?
Get out of here. Get out of here before I kill you.
She will gossip, Father.
Aye.
And the law will hear of it.
Aye.
The gallows. And death.
Not for us. To work, William.
Clipped a pile of sovereigns, and William took the clippings to London town. And the rest of the night, James Alsop sat with his thoughts. In the false dawn, he came to a conclusion. His daughter-in-law had to go. For good. In the 1670s, it was a mess. First of all, the English didn't like the Dutch, and the Dutch felt the same about the English, and they were constantly sending each other's frigates to the bottom. The King of England was Charles II, famed for being a member of the Stuart family, for marrying with Catherine Berganza, and for peeling the oranges of one Nell Gwyn. It was, as I have indicated, a yeasty time, foment everywhere. Colonists were going off in every which direction, to America, to India, and to the Caribbees. It was the decade, too, of the great Fethergill hoax, And it was the decade of plague and fire. Let's look again at a corner of it. The year, 1673. And the place, the village of Ham. And a woman named Ursula, walking through a meadow at dusk.
Did you have a good ride?
Middling. I think. Only middling.
What are you talking about?
I saw the woman Ursula walking through the meadow, as you said she would be.
And did you kill her as I said you should do?
I am not sure. Therefore...
Therefore what?
I am willing to take but half the amount of money which you promised me.
I promise you a fee, assassin, for the killing of Ursula. I hired your sword for a death. No half payments for work not completed.
It was no fault of mine. I stuck her with my sword, but she moved quickly away. Then I saw some people who were coming, attracted by her cry.
And my son William, who sent you to me from London, said you were the finest of assassins.
Another day and I'll try again.
Go back to London.
My pay.
That be your pay. You knock about the head. What you deserve. Get you back to London.
What do you think, Father?
That your wife is a fortunate one. That the wounds are not grave.
The villagers who saw the attack said a rider in a cloak and mask chased her about the meadow with a sword. For what reason? For what reason I cannot conceive.
A mystery.
Who would want to do murder on such a fine woman?
Yesterday you called her a witch.
Aye, even worse. But I did not mean it.
As I said, what has happened? A mystery.
Who would want to kill her?
Oh, your wife is a provoking woman. She walks alone in the meadow at dusk.
If she ever recovers, I will tell her to do so no more. While I'm gone for the surgeon in Yorkshire, you will take care of my wife, Father.
Aye, that I will. I'll watch over your wife.
And young Christopher rode off to Yorkshire. And what with William in London selling coin clippings, James Alsop was left in his house with Ursula, his daughter-in-law. September night, and the gathering storm, and this...
What?
Ursula, thirsty, as a body is wont to get when it has been stabbed.
Water.
And the man who could slake her thirst moves, but not toward Ursula. Toward the tool shed for a shovel, then toward the hill. You know why. That's right, to dig a grave. And while he was digging, you remember, it started to rain. And James Alsop lifted his mouth to it because the body is wont to get thirsty when it is digging a grave. But Alsop finished his task, took shovel back to tool house, and did what quite a few grave diggers do, even to this day.
Marty, another.
Not ask for wine. Good evening to you.
Good evening, Judy.
Buy a hollyhock. Oh, buy one.
Yours a farthing. You keep your ox. Wear it yourself.
You may pin it on me if you like.
Ox become you.
I have only 2 more to sell, and I have nothing to do, and no one to sing my song to.
Oh, Tonight I'm busy, Judy.
What could you be busy with in such a storm?
To help my daughter-in-law on a journey.
Journey to where?
To her cousin in Scotland.
Oh, if I had a drink, Mr. Alsop, I would drink to a safe return.
Barkeep. 3 drinks. 1 for me, 1 for the lady, and for yourself, barkeep. Yeah. Well, now we will drink to the safe journey and the safe return of my daughter-in-law, Ursula, who goes to visit her cousin in Scotland and who probably will not return for a year or so. Did you not? I can't stand to see you suffer, girlie. You'll never suffer again. Now then, up with you. There's a burying to be done.
Pastoral scene in England under Charles II. Cutthroat carrying victim through big storm to grave. A few more details. Darkness torn apart by lightning. Silences shattered by thunder. And the earth, a sea of mud. It was perhaps 300 yards to the hillside, and when James Alsop got there, the grave he had dug was gone, washed away. So, what we've got now is the same pastoral scene in reverse. Cutthroat carrying victim through big storm back to scene of crime. Cutthroat in a quandary.
The plan was to bury you neatly, Ursula. Now what?
Proving that things gang aft the glee.
Yeah. I told everyone you were going for a visit.
The question.
What shall I do with you?
Seeking the answer. The answer? Not quite. This time the answer, change everybody into warm, dry clothes. And having done this, the stroke of genius. Remove the glass from a window frame into the room, hide it, and set up a cry.
Murder! Murder most foul! Help! Thieves have come and made murder! Help! Help!
A thief?
Aye, Constable.
And killed your poor daughter-in-law.
Yesterday a man tried to do it while she walked the meadow.
I've heard.
And now you succeeded. I heard a cry from Ursula. I came quick to her, but only in time to see her attacker flee.
Flee? How?
Through the window, sir.
Which window?
That one.
That one? With no glass in it?
Of course that one.
And you're sure of it?
Aye.
Come here.
Aye.
If the thief and murderer escaped through this window, how did he get through the cobweb which covers the opening?
Sir?
Stretched across the window frame is a cobweb.
as you see. From side to side, so. From top to bottom, so.
Sir.
Then how did this thief of yours get through it?
Sir?
You're under arrest, James Alsop.
Arrest?
For the murder of your daughter-in-law. Charlie, the chains.
Was committed at Colchester Jail. His sons William and Christopher were not to be located. Justice was swift and sure. James Alsop was sentenced and led to the gallows. And as he mounted them, a thing happened.
Wait! In the name of the king! Do not hang that man.
A messenger with good news. Especially if your name was James Alsop of Ham in the year 1673, and the hangman had just indicated that you stick your neck in a noose.
New evidence from London.
Thank heaven.
The man who calls himself Topham says he can prove that James Alsop is no murderer. He saw a thief leave the place of murder through the door.
That's the way it was. I forgot.
Bring down the accused from the gibbet.
Story still has a dolorous end. Mr. Topham from London turned out to be none other than the missing William Alsop, son of James. He could have stayed in London, safe and alive, so he must have loved his father dearly to have taken such a chance. But the only way he changed history was this. To Christopher? Well, he had heard what happened to his wife, so asked himself, why return to Ham? He stayed in Yorkshire, where he met the widow Patricia. She was comely, and the next April they were wed. She made puddings and was an uncurious woman. They lived long and happily, and gave to the world 8 Alsops. Alsop Family, tonight's crime classic, was adapted from the original court reports and newspaper accounts by Morton Fine and David Friedkin. The music was composed and conducted by Bernard Herrmann, and the program is produced and directed by Elliott Lewis. In tonight's story, Ben Wright was heard as James. Thomas Hyland is portrayed on radio by Lou Merrill. Featured in the cast were Herb Butterfield, Ellen Morgan, Betty Harford, Terry Kilburn, Richard Peel, and Raymond Lawrence. Roy Rowan speaking. This is the United States Armed Forces Radio and Television Service.
Good evening. This is Crime Classics. I am Thomas Hyland with another true story of crime. Listen. The sound you hear is that of a swimmer in the Adriatic Sea. Her name is Agrippina, and the stroke she's using, 'tis one of the day. According to research, a kind of combination overhand side and flutter kick. Agrippina is quite good at it, too, she being the mother of the Emperor of Rome, and having the best instructors in all things. For instance, her swimming instructor told her to roll over on her back and float when she got tired, which she just did. And she was tired, all right. She'd been swimming toward shore for the last 2 hours. not for laurels, not for prizes, but to save her life. It seems her son had tried to drown her by rigging up a boat whose bottom would fall out, and which did when Agrippina was on it. Sonny's name, Nero. So tonight, my report to you about a mother and son in Rome in the 1st century A.D., listed in my files as Your Loving Son, Nero.
Crime Classics, a new series of true crime stories taken from the records and newspapers of every land from every time. Your host each week, Mr. Thomas Hyland, connoisseur of crime, student of violence, and teller of murders. Now once again, Mr. Thomas Hyland.
Rome, in the year 62 A.D. Nero had been on the throne for 8 years and had put on 60 pounds. And no wonder. At 25, he had tasted every sweet from Ethiopia to Britannia and had scouts out for whatever he had missed. I'd better tell you some nice things about Nero before we really get into this. First of all, he had a genuine love for Rome and its people. Oftentimes, Nero would release 1,000 birds of every kind, some with Roman money attached to them. He also threw to the people pork and mutton saddles, as well as tickets for grain and togas, and choice seats to concerts, at which he sang. This was the Nero that history forgot. Now, let's have a look at the Nero who is remembered. Scene, dressing room in the Roman Colosseum. Principals, Nero and Seneca, his mentor.
Hold high the shield for me, Seneca, so that I may look into it.
You look like...
What? Out with it. Out with it, Seneca.
Like a beast of the Nubian plains.
Which was my design when I put on this skin of a black leopard.
I meant sleek.
And you meant handsome?
And dangerous.
Do I frighten you?
Yes.
Well, then coward.
Oh, Nero.
Ah!
The Emperor will have great sport today. The crowd will love this novelty.
I am beloved, is that not so?
The poets sing of it. But listen now, great Nero. I have a thing to speak of.
Hand me that broadsword.
Here.
This sword will be my claws in the arena this day.
Beloved Nero.
Seneca?
This thing I have to speak of.
Yes.
They say...
Who?
Those about you of importance. They say you grow overly fond of your mother.
As I am her son, why not?
That she saps you of your wisdom. That she does undue influence upon you.
Agrippina's a loving mother.
Just so. Too much so. Her mother love saps you of your vigor.
What you say is an impiety, Seneca.
Lord Nero, be careful of your sword.
What more of my mother and me?
I repeat only what they say.
Come, Seneca, let me into the cage.
Yes.
Bend down your back so that I can step on it.
Yes.
Be brave now, Seneca. I'm in a cage. What else is at your brain as concerns my mother?
Kill her.
For your sake? Because I love her more than you?
For the sake of Rome.
Which is me.
Of course.
Have the slaves wheel me into the arena, Seneca.
Yes.
What happened when Nero was rolled into the arena in a cage dressed in a black leopard skin is a fine clue as to the lad's personality. Also in the arena and tied securely to stakes were slaves. Then the cage was sprung open, Nero leaped out with his broadsword and performed whatever ritual came to mind. Later, when the sands of the arena were swept clean and in some places resanded, Nero performed again. This time with stringed lyre, in curlets and silken toga.
Nero sweetly strikes his lyre, Apollo strings his bow, and Nero's song is the tongue of fire, while the goddess moon speaks low. For Nero is the prince beloved, and Nero is adored on high.
And so on into the night. He didn't sing well, but he sang loud and long. And he had a special arrangement with the Coliseum guards. Collect the heads of all those who tried to leave while he was singing. It was usually after midnight when Nero finally gave the signal for his audience to go home. Nero was fatigued, and he wanted his mother. History tells us Agrippina had a restorative influence on her son because of the soothing quality of her voice, perhaps of her understanding of the light in her motherly eyes, or just perhaps because of a way she had with rose oil and myrrh.
Mother.
Hush, son. How tired you must be from the day. Let me this soothing of you.
Mother.
Turn your other shoulder to me, son.
So help me, Jupiter, Mother. If you don't let me ask you what...
Yes, what is it?
What I did today in the arena with the wearing of the leopard skin. What of it, Mother?
Terrifying.
Huh? What else?
Exciting.
Yeah. And what else?
Papia sat beside me. She bit the soft of her hand till blood came in such ecstasy.
Oh, Mother, Papia's always biting the soft of her hand when she sees me.
She's fond of you. Why do you laugh?
Last night, Papia painted her face in ochre and went to the oracle. She's afraid Acte, the slave girl from Germania, has taken her place in my affection.
Has she?
Acte opened her veins this noon because I demanded it, and Papia doesn't know it yet. Anoint my hair, Mother. Oh, not that much.
Papia is waiting for you, isn't she?
Oh, of course she is.
What does she say of me?
We hardly talk, Mother. I sing to her, and then we stare at each other. Ah, thank Jupiter for Eros.
But Seneca talks to you, doesn't he?
Hand me that garland, Mother.
Doesn't he?
No, much. Constantly, pratingly, ceaselessly, without end.
Of me?
Much. Constantly, pratingly, ceaselessly, without end.
What does he say?
He wants me to kill you.
I see.
He says you love me too much and have undue influence upon me, therefore you should be dead.
Nero, my son.
Yes, Mother.
Remember that Claudius died suddenly, and for that reason you are emperor. Remember that Claudius died because I wished it. Somehow there was poison, and somehow Claudius died. And remember, too, that rightfully your stepbrother Britannicus should sit on the emperor's throne. And remember...
Jupiter, look at the hourglass. The sand's run out. I'm late. Let me kiss you. Ave Mater. The poppy blossom of slender shaft, of scarlet petal her gaze enthralled. Give thanks to Olympus, give thanks to the gods that season Nero has to her called.
Emperor?
Wait. I lay on the loggia today after the pool, and I gazed up at the heavens, and the thoughts went through me in a rush. Millions of thoughts, and...
Bad boy.
After tonight, there's tomorrow. And the being emperor again. And the whisperings and the intrigues. Oh, Papia, my head swims in thoughts. My poor head.
Rested upon me. Emperor.
Yes.
Your mother anointed well. Your curlets smell of the dew.
She hates you, Papia.
I know.
She hates Seneca.
Because he is wise.
Papia.
Does not your garland bind your brow? Here, let me take it off.
Oh, Ah, gentle Poppea.
Seneca is wise, Nero.
Do you want my mother dead, too?
Only for your sake.
How?
It is said that Agrippina is anointing her stepson Britannicus lately. And in private calls him Emperor.
All night a Rubicus dwells a witch. Pluto's daughter, ill-got is she. Her name is Locusta, 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 horrible witch. From the river of the dead, her poisons be.
Oh, sing no more, Nero. I love thee too well, Emperor.
Poppea wasn't the only one who bade him lay down his lyre and still his song. A man named Petronius did the same thing. He wrote Nero a note and told the emperor that he was the worst singer of all time. Then Petronius, to save a lot of time all the way around, opened his veins. But Poppea, being currently Nero's type of love, she got away with it. Also, in Nero's ear, she went on and on about the new Delphic oracle, who knew the mystery, she said, like no other oracle in Rome or in the provinces. A younger man, she told Nero, one with younger ideas, one who could conjure voices, speak to the gods, and recognize ancestors in various animals, and very good with the advice. So, Nero kissed her for her concern. Retrieved his garland, left her. On the way to the Delphic oracle, he made a decision.
And I'll do it now, as long as I've got my mind made up.
And he made a detour. Stopped in to see Locusta on the Iter Rubicus, then paid a call on his stepbrother, Britannicus.
This vase of wine I bring you, brother, from Gaul, it is, where the Rhone flows gently and the grapes grow fat. O great stepbrother, whose love is dear to me and who desires nothing but good for me, for these reasons I give you this wine that you should drink. Drink it. Like that, boy. Throw back your throat and let the coolness of it, the death of it touch you and chill you. Come on! Come on! Britannicus has drunk poison and is dead. He hated life and wanted no more of it.
Then Nero called upon the Delphic oracle. No sooner had the oracle lighted his pot of fire and said the words, than Nero asked the question.
My brother Britannicus is dead. What should be of my mother?
Jupiter and those on Olympus are jealous of you, O Caesar Nero. They would smile more brightly upon you if Agrippina were dead and belonged to them.
Nero went home to the palace, and the oracle went into his back room.
It is done, Seneca. I have told him.
And he will kill his mother?
This I believe.
How shrewd is Poppea to have sent him to you?
This I believe.
On the table is 1,000 sesterces oracle.
I will say words for you into the fire, Seneca.
Hail.
Hail.
Nero went to sleep that night with a new mission in life. He was going to kill his mother.
You are listening to Crime Classics and your host, Thomas Hyland. Don't walk a mile, just set at your radio for hilarious entertainment Monday nights on CBS Radio's Walk a Mile Quiz. Bill Cullen's in charge of the game with a high-paying jackpot and prizes and pleasure. Later tonight, don't miss Walk a Mile. And say, also later this evening on most of these same stations, listen for Arthur Godfrey's Talent Scouts with Arthur himself back in the saddle again. And now, once again, Thomas Hyland and the second act of Crime Classics and his report to you on Your Loving Son, Nero.
A word about Rome in the year 62 A.D. Rome was in her glory. Her subject people stretched from Asia Minor to Britain, and they paid their taxes on time. A city of slaves and temples and chariot races and visitors from Greece and freedmen from the provinces and spices and oils and unguents. And here and there on the streets, an old Etruscus. The Colosseum was the center of attraction. Here man fought man, beast fought beast. And on holidays, they switched. Nero was emperor, and you already know how Nero loved to set an example. Agrippina was his mother, and some background on her. Out of a maternal concern for her son, she poisoned a lot of people, most prominent of whom, her third husband, the Emperor Claudius. Pliny the Elder, in his letters, mentions her as the vilest of women, and I just quote it. But Pliny was called in the journals of Tacitus as a sour man, and I just quote it again. Anyhow, her son Nero woke up one morning determined to murder her. So he sent for Locusta of the Iterubicus.
Get off the floor, witch, and come close. You brought poisons. Vile stuff. What's this one for?
Nephews.
And this?
Daughters.
And this?
Mothers.
Mothers? Oh, tell me of it.
'Tis powdered stuff of a thing I know, plucked from a swamp I know, when one night the moon of fertility rode. In the 8th month of Octavian, when there was harvest, it kills mothers quickly, instantly.
Without pain. I would not like my mother to suffer.
Like that.
How is it used?
Yes, a drop in a sweet meat, or whatever.
I'll have it. Seneca! Pay her, Seneca. 1,000 sesterces. Seneca, have the wall splashed with sweet-smelling oil to take this reek out. Go. And so, Mother, as a small gift of the day in honor of Persephone, sweetmeats from Thebes. Plump dates rolled in cinnamon, stiffened honey from Alexandria, wild berries from the soft slope of Lebanon drowned in sweet essences.
Which is your favorite, son?
This one.
Put it to my lips.
First.
Yes?
I would kiss you, Mother.
Persephone's Day is a favorite of mine. You make it happier.
Bend to me. Now here is your walnut sweet.
It's very good. Excellent. May I have another?
Of course. Here's a choice one. It's bigger.
Ambrosia. The gods should know of it. And may I have some of that? What is it?
Oh, morsel from the Hebrews. A cluster of almonds chopped with apples and dipped in wine.
Oh, delicious.
Mother.
What?
How do you feel?
Blessed by Jupiter, who's given me such a fond son. Son.
Yes, Mother.
Eat of your gift. Here, I will place a sweetmeat to your lips.
No, stop. Stop it.
Do you ail?
Stop it. Stop it.
You ail. Let me hold you, son. Sweet son. Emperor's son.
I have here a translation from a Latin historian named Suetonius. In essence, here's what the gentleman has to say. Thrice Nero tried to poison his mother with sweetmeats and other devices, but each time, warned of his plan, she suffered herself to swallow antidotes beforehand. Nero then planned another method for his mother's destruction. He tampered with the ceiling of her bedroom, contriving a mechanical device for loosening its panels and dropping them upon her while she slept. But this leaked out through some of those connected with the plot, so that Agrippina was warned and slept elsewhere.
Imagine Nero's chagrin and fury and petulance. So his mentor, Seneca, came up with a thought.
Now, the first thing you've got to do is control yourself. Throw that last Grecian urn and get it out of your system. I'm glad you did. It was a hideous bit of pottery anyway. Now the thought. Write your mother a letter.
To say what?
Well, you wrote Petronius a letter telling him it would be best for himself and the state to open his veins, did you not?
Yes.
And he did it. As did Fluvius when you wrote him a letter. And Caspar.
And Marius and his 3 sons and that senator.
Lucius.
Loud from his mouth of taxes and excesses.
And others. Write her.
And you will tell me what to say?
As before, with the others.
Let us do it.
And since, Mother, it appears you are trying to have me slain, for the good of all of us and of the state, I, Nero, Emperor, and faithful...
You're going too fast.
Where are you?
I, Nero.
Emperor and faithful son, do request your death. This gift I enclose, small knife of gold, for slitting, and sign it your loving son, Nero. Now put your seal to it, and I'll have a slave take it over right away.
The slave has just now brought me your letter, which needs prompt reply. I will not kill myself, Ave.
Mother? Mother? Oh, Mother.
What is it?
Did you enjoy the banquet?
You sang beautifully.
That is not what I mean, Mother.
What then?
No one fell dead at the banquet, Mother. Neither your taster nor mine.
I don't want to think about it.
I know that. That's why I've arranged this voyage for you. And when you return from Thessaly, you will bring back forgiveness in your heart for me.
Son.
Yes.
Do you still want your mother dead?
No.
Swear it.
By the gods of Olympus.
Then my voyage will be joyful.
With a new and fleet ship to take you to Golden Sands and return refreshed.
I love you well, Nero.
You are my love, Mother. Ave. Ave. Sail home to me soon.
If this tender scene of Ave's and loving kindnesses perplexes you, well, it really shouldn't. Nero was still up to no good. In spite of the sumptuous banquet he had arranged for his mother out of the clear blue sky, and in spite of the trip he had arranged for her to Golden Sands and return by way of a peace offering, Nero still had murder on his mind. This ship he had built for his mother, you know who built it? Anicetus. And who is Anicetus? Any of your better histories on triremes and other Roman naval craft will devote at least a few paragraphs to Anicetus. He was forever trying things against the laws of navigation. For instance, this ship that would take Agrippina to Thessaly, he designed it so its bottom would fall out 5 miles at sea. And did it? Well, let's pick up the ship just before it was 5 miles out on the Adriatic. Quiet ocean, azure skies, as fine a 2 decks of slaves chained to the oars as you'll ever find. And Agrippina having grapes at the captain's table.
You men of the sea, Captain. All my life, the great wonder I've had about them. What's that? Help me!
Well, everybody drowned except Agrippina. Not that she was the greatest swimmer in the world, as she only knew 1 stroke. But she had sense enough to roll over on her back and float when she got tired. So she got to shore. She made known who she was, which got her a fresh toga and transportation back to the palace. Nero was waiting for her.
Mother,
Mother! Mother! Oh, Mother! Slaves! Strangle her!
And they did, with a silken scarf. It is interesting to note that the word mater in Latin means mother. From mater, we get the word matricide.
In just a moment, Thomas Hyland will tell you about next week's Crime Classics. Your Loving Son, Nero, tonight's Crime Classic, was adapted from the original court reports and newspaper accounts by Morton Fine and David Friedkin. The music was composed and conducted by Bernard Herrmann, and the program is produced and directed by Elliott Lewis. Thomas Hyland is portrayed on radio by Lou Merrill. In tonight's story, William Conrad was heard as Nero, and Betty Lou Gerson as Agrippina. Featured in the cast were Sammy Hill, Edgar Barrier, Hy Averback, and Martha Wentworth. And here again is Thomas Hyland.
Next week, Troy, New York, in the year 1845. And my report on the funniest woman in town. She really made the townfolk laugh. It's listed in my file as The Torment of Henrietta Robinson and Why She Killed. Thank you. Good night.
If you went away from home for 10 years and returned, what would you expect to find? The answer may unfold for you later tonight when Claire Trevor stars in One Last September, a touching, enchanting, dramatic story on the Lux Summer Theater. Don't miss it later tonight on most of these same CBS radio stations. Stay tuned now for Arthur Godfrey's Talent Scouts, which follows immediately over most of these same stations. America's 45 million radio families listen most to the CBS Radio Network.